You kept testing how far she would go for you. And now you got to watch just how far she keeps going without you. And it's so ironic because y'all be so surprised whenever your girl glow up after the relationship ends, I guess because of the state that you left her in mentally and emotionally, but the exact same qualities that allowed her to stay in that relationship when she had every reason to give up, that's the exact reason that she's able to elevate and come up without you. Like, it's so funny to me. And I really want to speak to the guys. You're currently in a relationship with a woman, you playing with her, et cetera, because you think that life don't continue without you. You think that it don't get better than you. You think that she can't do anything without you. Newsflash, the very qualities that are allowing her to remain in that situation with you right now, all of that determination, all of that persistence, all of that communication, all of that vision that she had for the relationship, seeing the potential, all of those things are going to be transferred over into what creates her success without you. Meaning, I don't think you really see just how much it's going to hurt whenever she glows up without you, but that's what's going to make her leaving you for good even more painful, is the fact that after she left you, things got better. Can somebody let me know if you picking up what I'm putting down? If what I'm saying is making sense, because if it's not, don't worry. I'm about to break it all the way down. It's so funny to me though. Y'all be counting on a woman's demise whenever you walk out on her, whenever you abandon her, whenever you leave her. Oh man, she can't get, who gonna want her after me? Who gonna want to deal with her? What's she gonna be able to do? I'm the reason why she was able. You don't realize that tells me all the more proof that I need that you didn't understand her qualities, her traits, her character, her personality. You didn't understand the power of that to begin with. If that's really your ignorance, I'm not even being cliche here. Matter of fact, let me bring you guys closer, man. I'm looking at this message. Dudes always want to come battling me like I'm not the one that's actually trying to forewarn you. It's your dudes who are complicit in your ignorance. Oh, that woman, she's so down bad without me, man. She's so, no. It may be misdirected. That determination may be misdirected. But don't get it twisted and think that that's not powerful enough to keep her going when she finds the right way to direct it. Like, everything that you're taking for granted about her, that's the foundation that she's going to launch. Like, you know, every inexcusable disappearance, you know, with a half-hearted explanation of where you was gone and who you was with and why you didn't come back on time. Each time discovering, you know, that yes, she would remarkably bend even further, forgive even more, rationalize again. You was running like an experiment on her loyalty, like it was some type of endless resource, treating her breaking point like it was some theoretical concept. But it turns out you were conducting the wrong study. The real data, it wasn't how much she would be able to tolerate with you. It was what she'd accomplished without you. Now you're just another observer watching her thrive from a distance you created, but you can no longer cross. You can no longer cross. Like, you misjudged her persistence as desperation. And now you get to watch it power her success. Now, this is specifically for the guys, again, that it's too late, but it's just puzzling you how this woman has gone on to succeed and, you know, create a new social circle and move on and lose weight and do this, that, and the other. It's like, well, why she didn't do that whenever she was with me? You were suffocating her, sir. You were suffocating her. But again, because you didn't understand those qualities, you're shocked by what they could actually do when they're in the right hands, her own. You mistook her determination as neediness. Now you're seeing it fuel her ascent. That's what happened. I just want to put some explanation to it. Now, let me be very clear, because as I talk about this, anytime I'm really candid about the fact that there are men out here, and I'm talking to the men who don't get it, or the men who are on the verge of having to learn this the hard way, it can give the impression that that's all that's out here. And that's not true. That's not true. There's a such thing called an alpha male who already gets it. There's a such thing as an alpha male who doesn't look to test your loyalty. He inspires it. Yes, even though you already had it, even though you were already that, he inspires it through his own consistency. Like I want to be very mindful with my words and my messaging, that I'm not sitting out here saying, oh, these guys don't get it, as if that's all that's out here. Like, the last guy that failed you wasn't the last kind of guy that God made. God didn't stop making men. So any woman that's getting ready to give up because, oh, these men are just like the one that Derrick is describing, and that's all that's out here. No, it's not. No, it's not. There are alpha males out who understand that reliability creates devotion more effectively than uncertainty. I want to be very clear. There are alpha males who understand that they can build trust through their patterns, not through more challenges. They're not checking to see how much you'll take if you'll stay. They're giving you consistent reasons why you want to stay. Am I being very clear? Yes, you can definitely attract alpha males, even though you'll probably attract just about everything. I think, Charlene, you asked that. Just about everything if you're an attractive woman. And I talked about how to do that in my masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. Lakia, you might need to be done with that, man, but don't be done with everybody. Because again, there are men who get it. But back to what I was saying. Oh, you can comment the word secrets. I'll send you access to that masterclass, by the way. But back to what I was saying, to the guys out there, you playing and you treating her forgiveness like it's some type of unlimited resource, you're going to end up watching her invested elsewhere. That's the reason why she's able to glow up without you. Yes, she always had the potential. Yes, and at times she may have allowed you to play an important role in her life, all of that kind of stuff. But you used her grace as renewable energy. Eventually, you're going to end up seeing others benefit from its power. Because again, these exact same qualities and traits that you abused, that you misused, that you took advantage of, they're not bad traits. And women that have these traits, your grace, your forgiveness, that's not bad. It's just being misplaced. It's just being misused. If you get a MacBook and you use it as a plate, it don't mean the MacBook is wrong. It don't mean the MacBook is worthless or the MacBook is overpriced. It means it's not being used correctly. It's not being used correctly. So when you're dealing with a man who exploits your compassion, again, it's just infinite. He's going to at some point observe the selective application that allows you to manifest the best in you. So any dude watching this, you in this situation, you can get mad at me all you want to. You can't fight me. I don't care. And even if you could, you probably lose. Just remember how she found a way to understand all your selfish behaviors and create context for your worst choices, even offering you clean slates after your clearest betrayals. That extraordinary capacity for grace, that didn't vanish. She just finally applying it to people capable of appreciating its value, including, most importantly, herself. Like, the forgiveness itself wasn't flawed. Its recipient was. You. That's all that was. It was just you. You researched her breaking point instead of her potential. And so at some point, you're going to be forced to study both of those from the outside looking in. That's why a woman can glow up without you. And like you looking for the wrong things for the wrong reasons, but those wrong things ain't really wrong. They're just in the wrong hands. So you over there exploring her limits instead of her capabilities, you're going to witness both from afar, this time without access to either one. You want to test her boundaries instead of her brilliance. Now you're going to observe both without your suffocation. Like you wanted to conduct all of these experiments to see how much disappointment she could absorb, but you missed the data on what she could create when she's not constantly managing your relationship chaos. So now the woman whose dreams you have listened to between notifications, she's now achieving those dreams while you scroll through her updates like any other anonymous follower. Your research focused on her threshold for pain when you should have studied her capacity for greatness. Like that's the difference. You are looking at it all wrong. And again, I'm also talking to the guys who need to be forewarned, because you're in a situation right now where you treating her grace like it's unlimited. You treating her forgiveness, her presence like it's unconditional. I got some flag yesterday on my live because I was talking about this and I was like, no, your love should not be unconditional, because the resource from which your love flows is not unconditionally functional. And a lot of men got it misunderstood, as well as women, if I keep it all the way real with y'all, because I'm your big bro, in thinking that this is supposed to be unconditional, or the woman's love is going to be unconditional. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not when she loves herself. And when you come to truly love her, you don't need her love to be unconditional. You don't need her presence to be unconditional, because you're going to meet a ton of conditions, because you've already met those conditions for yourself as an alpha male, as an evolved man. Am I making sense to anybody? You thought says forgiveness is unconditional. It should be. That I would rather agree to, because forgiveness is about letting you off the hook from what somebody did to you, not letting them off the hook. Because you know, karma don't miss no address, so your forgiveness ain't gonna let them off of that anyway. But I need you dudes to understand out there, man. Like, you saw her accommodations as weakness, but at some point you're gonna be forced to recognize them as the strength that was temporarily misapplied. Like, you mistook her adaptability as fragility. That's what you did. You confused her flexibility with a lack of backbone. And then you're going to end up seeing its purposeful deployment. So just remember, when she would rearrange her whole schedule, adjust her expectations, modify her needs to fit your inconsistent availability, all of that adaptability, that wasn't weakness. It was strength assigned to the wrong investment. So when the day comes and she's applying that same flexibility to opportunities that multiply rather than diminish her value, adjusting to promotions and, you know, instead of disappointments, accommodating her growth rather than neglect, you're going to see the fruit of that. And then it's going to look like, well, while she was holding back in the relationship, why was she must have not been giving me the best in her relationship. She just doing that to try to make me jealous. She just trying, no, she not. You just seeing how bright her light can shine whenever it's not being dimmed by your insecurities. That woman with the super bubbly personality and stuff like that, nah, man, she wasn't being disrespectful to you. You just was too insecure for her. Now, this is granted that she wasn't being disrespectful, you know, in terms of being flirtatious or anything. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about her having strong friendships. I'm talking about her having a strong social circle. I'm talking about her being willing to go out and make the introduction for the purpose of a business elevation and that kind of thing. And you wanted to suppress that because that threatened you on multiple levels. You saw people take to her more than they ever took to you, and that threatened you. And now that she's able to thrive and shine and grow and elevate without you, you thinking something wrong with her, or she just faking. No, she ain't. No, she ain't. She's reaping what she's always sowed. This time without tares amongst the wheat. This time without you robbing her of what should have been her harvest. Straight up. You tested her loyalty. But the whole time you overlook your own expendability. And now you got to confront both revelations. You tested. You wanted to see how far she would go for you. Now you got to witness just how far she can go without you, because you question her commitment while assuming your irreplaceability. And both were true. Are we speaking on narcissistic behavior? Absolutely. This is an aspect of it. When a man doubts your devotion, meanwhile presuming his necessity, he's going to have to witness contradictory evidence. Like, each time as a man, when you disappeared and you returned with little to no explanation about where you were, and you found her still waiting, you confirmed two dangerous assumptions. One, her loyalty was infinite. And two, your presence was essential. Now, You're discovering that both of these uncomfortable truths, that her capacity for devotion was real, but transferable. Don't forget that part. While your role in her life was optional, not required. So your experiments, they don't necessarily prove your value when you're doing all of this. You puffing your chest out, you bragging to your boys, but they don't prove your value. That ain't how whipped you got her. All your experiments did was delay her discovery of your cost, of what it costs to be attached to you. That's all it did. And for those who are just joining in, I want to make it clear. This is why women who get treated the worst seem to glow up the most after a toxic relationship. Long as you don't make the mistake of thinking you need to change you because somebody else mishandled you, long as you don't make the mistake of thinking you were the problem for the standards that you had that they couldn't meet, instead of changing these things, diminishing these things, further iterating the narratives that they had, the toxic partner that you had about you and how bad and wrong you were, long as you don't embrace that and you instead embrace the exact qualities that they took for granted, you're going to go up too. Because those exact qualities you misapplied were just waiting for the right application. They were just missing a discernment. They were just missing you listening to your intuition. I hope this makes sense to somebody. Somebody said, can an alpha male be a narcissist as well? No, he can't. No, he can't. If he's truly a narcissist, that means he's walking around in some broken shell of himself, protecting his ego at the expense of others, at the demise and destruction of others. That's not an alpha male at all, actually. Like an alpha male is going to see all of these qualities that I'm speaking about as assets to build with, not resources to deplete. An alpha male is going to view your strengths as complementary advantages, not exploitable vulnerabilities. An alpha male is going to see your extraordinary qualities as contributions to a shared vision, not convenient traits that make his life easier in a one-sided way. So with an alpha male, the focus is on creation together, not extraction from you. I hope this makes sense. Now I understand I'm going to lose some people on this. Some people don't like this, and that's fine. And please do not give up on alpha males if you have not found yours yet. And I guarantee if you have not gotten yours yet, it's because you're not using the right strategies. You're not using the right strategies. And I don't just talk about it. I am about it. I literally gave away these strategies for free in the masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. Comment the word secrets. I'll just send you the link. Free. I also put the link down here in the comments so it's easy for you guys to find. There's no excuse why, if you are a growth-oriented woman, if you are a mature and accountable woman, if you've done the work on yourself, if you're showing up as your best and authentic self, that you shouldn't have your own alpha male if partnership is what you want. If a man who is equally yoked is what you truly desire. There's no excuse. Now, I'm not talking to everybody because some women out there, they don't want to do the work. Some women out there want to keep playing games. They want to still act single. They want to use a man. They want to destroy. Like, I'm not talking about that. You still missing your ex and all that kind of stuff. This ain't for you. You a gold digger. This ain't for you. You out here trying to take your homegirl's man. This ain't for you. You can't be told nothing. This ain't for you. Like I said, I'm your big bro. I'm going to just keep it all the way real. Now, if you're a growth-oriented woman, you manage access to you. Everybody can't get access to you. You've been working on your bad habits and developing better ones. You've been elevating throughout the years internally. You're not for everybody. You deserve a man who is not for everybody. And who has truly focused on elevating into his higher self. That's a real power couple. Instead of dealing with a man who's trying to measure how much you can endure, instead of measuring how much he can contribute, who's going to end up watching others benefit from his miscalculation. This is why these dudes always get to running back. You know, as a woman, you weren't the problem if they just keep on coming back. You know, as a woman, you are not the problem if he just keep on coming back. And this is why a lot of men end up trying to come back, because they realize something. They realize that they were calculating your tolerance rather than your offerings. And now they got to see all of those offerings being redirected. That's why they keep coming back. These men, they quantify your endurance instead of, your gifts. And then they got to watch the redistribution of those gifts. I was telling dude over, like I said, this dude in my inbox right now. Man, she wasn't doing all of this. She wasn't pursuing all of this. She wasn't blah, 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 blah. He done went through this whole long message. I'm like, man, look, while you was over there testing how many disappointments she would tolerate, how many plans she'd rearrange, how many explanations she would accept, somebody else noticed what she brings to the table. Her insight, her compassion, her unwavering support. The qualities you treated as convenient for you turned out to be valuable to people who actually deserved them. So your loss, it wasn't just her presence, but everything she contributed that you never fully measured. And now you mad. You mad. You the one that confused her hope for dependency. But hope was never this ball and chain. It was always her wings. And as a woman, I need y'all to understand the exact same thing. If that man mistook your optimism for attachment, failing to recognize like its independent power, don't subscribe to his narrative about that. If he misinterpreted your belief as need, instead of seeing its self-sufficient nature, don't embrace his narrative about that. Don't see your own worth through the eyes of somebody who couldn't measure it. He thought your continued investment, despite, all of his inconsistency, proved that you wouldn't leave. Instead of recognizing, your hope wasn't some prison keeping you with him, but it was rather fuel that you could direct anywhere. The optimism that kept giving him chances is the same force now powering you toward opportunities that actually deserve your energy. If you allow that to be the case. Now, if you get out here trying to change you, if you get out here trying to be malleable, if you get out here just trying to continue to earn that man's validation that you really ain't benefiting from anyway, then unfortunately, you're going to continue to be another chapter of the same story he was writing for you. But hear what I'm saying. For those of y'all who have hopefulness or had hopefulness and optimism in a relationship that didn't work out, look, hope wasn't your weakness. It was your strength, waiting for worthy application. Don't change you. Change who has access to you. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I know I might lose some people on this, but I want to know, is anybody Put facts if I'm speaking facts right now. If you understand what I'm saying, put facts down in the comments. And share this right now. I definitely want to shout a few of y'all out. Share this. And when you do, let me know that you hit the share button. Let me know that you commented a comment share button so I can know and I can shout you out. I love to shout y'all out whenever y'all share this so more like-minded individuals can get a hold of this, because people love spreading nonsense. A lot of people ain't bold enough to spread no truth. Yes, alpha males move completely different. Instead of trying to change a man, fix a man, raise a man, beg a man, coddle a man, reward a man for stuff he should already be doing, alpha males don't need any of that to know what exactly I'm saying. I'm not saying anything new to an alpha male. Let me be very, very clear. Alpha males don't need to create artificial value through scarcity. They provide actual value through their presence. They understand worth is demonstrated through consistency. It's not manufactured through absence. It's not a man going to go hot and cold and missing so that you can miss him and be desperate for him. Now, he may back away if you on some nonsense. If he needs to regulate his emotions, he may absolutely need some time to himself, because an alpha male is still human. But he's not going to do this hot and cold game just to keep you on your toes. Alpha males understand that genuine connection builds through reliability, not intermittent reinforcement. So while immature men use strategic disappearances to increase your anxiety, your anxious attachment, alpha males recognize that genuine desire is maintained through continued value delivery, not manipulation. You don't have to worry about that from an alpha male. Now, Martinique, you said you're a little confused. Let me kind of tie it all together. There are a lot of men who have a woman that's willing to go to the ends of the earth, that's willing to cross oceans for them. And those same men won't jump over a puddle for their woman. However, they act shell-shocked when they see that woman finally get the courage to leave, and then she glows up with strength she seemingly did not have in a relationship. It puzzles them. It bewilders them. So what I was saying is that you always, as a man, any man watching this that took his woman for granted, you tested how far that woman would go for you. And your karma for that is now seeing just how far she can go without you. Because men misinterpret the meaning behind all of these qualities and traits as something they can take advantage of. They misinterpret it. She's weak. She's dependent. She's needy. She's clingy. She gotta have me and only me. She ain't going nowhere. She can't live without me. She could never leave. They misinterpret these things. And they think that by snatching the rug from under your feet, you're not going to be able to survive. You're not going to be able to function. You're not going to want another man, be no good for another man. And what I'm saying is the very traits that had you in that situation longer than what you should have, but applied correctly, applied appropriately, will actually catapult you far beyond what that man could have taken you even at his best. Is that making sense to anybody? Let me know. Put facts down in the comments. If that made sense, anything that I just said, put facts down in the comments if that made sense. Put facts down in the comments if that made sense. Let me know. If I lost you there, I don't know what to do. But you got to understand, choosing an alpha male beats trying to materialize some man's potential that he's never going to materialize for himself. And this ain't even about you finding as a woman the perfect man. This is about recognizing the profound difference between relationships that require your continuous sacrifice to function and those that enhance your life through their fundamental operation. That's what this is about. So as a woman in this season, if you've been taken for granted, if you've been played with, if you were counted out as somebody who could never leave and he just got all the power and you ain't going nowhere and nothing like that, this is a perfect opportunity to show what happens when you reroute all of that energy previously spent managing disappointment towards pushing and pursuing aspirations that you previously placed on hold. This is the time to do that. This is the time to show that redirected emotional resources formerly consumed by uncertainty are great foundational pieces for connections characterized by reciprocal investments. This is the time to do that. I want to make that very clear. Because all of this, and this is not the entirety of it, because I went in depth on secrets to attracting alpha males only. I gave it out step by step. I gave exactly how to position yourself as a woman so you could quickly attract alpha males. I already laid it out, so I'm not going to go too far in depth here. And also on that masterclass, and yes, comment the word secrets. I'll send it to you. I'm not stingy. I'm not stingy at all. But I talked about how to identify those men who recognize your value as investment opportunity rather than an endurance experiment. I talked about that in the masterclass. I talked about why genuine alpha males view your boundaries as orientation rather than some type of obstacle. Orientation meaning the proper way to love you, the directions to the properly loved version of you. I broke that down in the free masterclass. Again, comment secrets. I'll send it to you, or you can click the link that's down there in the comments. I talked about the specific patterns early in dating that reveal whether a man is assessing your worth or if he's testing your limits. And there's several other things I talked about so you can discern who you're dealing with. You can stop this pattern of attracting men that don't know what to do with you, so all they do is destroy. But I really don't want to get away from the guys because I know it's a lot of men that need this, even if it's not a lot of men that are ready to hear this. But at some point, you're probably going to circle back around and have to force yourself to accept this truth. Like, again, you kept testing just how far she go for you just to end up seeing how far she can go without you. And the experiment didn't end when she left. It merely entered its final phase. It just entered the final phase, revealing a conclusion you weren't prepared to discover. That the same strength, the same resilience, the same determination you thought kept her connected to you, regardless of how you treated her, could be redirected toward destinations that actually deserve their power. Turns out the finish line wasn't how much she tolerated, but how quickly she thrived when she stopped tolerating. You thought you were measuring her limits? Really? You're actually just documenting your own replaceability. Ain't nobody else gonna tell you this, so I will. That little experiment you was running on that woman, on that relationship, that wasn't revealing her breaking point. It was revealing your expendability. And the data is still coming in with every achievement you watch from a distance that you created, but can no longer cross. You can no longer access. You see, you created it inadvertently. It wasn't because of you. It was in spite of you, motivated by what you didn't recognize. That's why that woman is glowing up so hard after you left. But those are just my thoughts. If you agree with what I'm saying, keep your money. I'm not asking for your money. Just pay it forward by hitting that share button down here, because somebody else needs this message the same way you either did or at some point in time needed it. And you may just change somebody's life by finding that little arrow down here and hitting the share button. Y'all know I'm your internet big bro. You know I got your back. If you want more like this, check out my free masterclass. I go way more in depth. So if you thought this was something, you're really going to get blessed by that masterclass. Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. I put the link down here in the comments. It's pinned. If you see it right here, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. Click this link. It's going to get you over to my masterclass where I tell you exactly how to discern alpha males from the fakes and to position yourself for the alpha male that deserves you. Or just comment the word secrets. I'll send it to you for free. All right. Holla at you later. Y'all be good. Peace.